and we want it treated as such. Your Excellency, Chancellor Sir, we are moving to another critical stage of the ceremony, which is the hooding of our pioneer PhD graduates. This ceremony is a milestone, it's quite historic and it's quite epochal, a defining moment in the evolution of this illustrious university, as encapsulated in the vision of the founder and chancellor, distinguished Senator Yusuf Baze. And I'm going to be calling on the Dean School of Postgraduate Studies once again, and I think this time he's going to rise and of course conduct the holding exercise. But before then, we need to know that the holding exercise is a ceremonial exercise meant to be a rite of passage, preparing students and preparing graduates from studentship to scholarship. They are now moving from studentship to scholarship, a time of independent thinking, a time of being critically minded, a time of being opinion leaders and shapers of thoughts, people who are no longer supposed to be supervisors or mentees, but are supposed to be, who are no longer to be supervisors, but are going to be supervisors and mentors themselves. So it's a milestone for the students, and I'm going to ask that you please give them a round of applause. And before the ceremony begins formally, we also need to remind us that hooding is not just beginning with Baze University. It is rooted in history. It started from about the 12th century, from the pioneering university that we have across the world, the University of Bologna, the University of Paris, and the Oxford University. And it has become a symbol of academic excellence, for those who are bagging the highest degree, to be included as a mark of recognition of their painstaking effort, lasting over 3, 4, 5 or so years. And of course, we are joining the fray today. It is why it is momentous, it is why we are celebrating, and it is the more reason why I'm going to invite the Dean Postgraduate School to come and lead the process. Professor Akube, please.
We have Business Management and Marketing, PT2 Charles, Business Management and Marketing, and the last but not the least, Business Management and
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Dean.
Chancellor, sir, comments.
Please go ahead. As permitted by the Chancellor. Remember, go on.
Permit me, sorry, there's one name that was missed out before she now assumed this university. The name is Ozigi. Sorry, that's not the weapon. Olupukola Ayola is speaking. Please give me a round of applause. Sorry.
I will need all graduates to be properly dressed, please, in their graduation regalia. If you are not in your regalia, then you are not supposed to be part of the collection this afternoon. And of course, Your Excellency, Chancellor, sir. Your Excellency, Chancellor, sir, once more, the hooding is a traditional rite of passage from studentship to scholarship. It is a stage where students, PhD holders have matured into critical thinkers, excellent ratiocinator, people who are supposed to challenge assumption, to expand the frontiers of knowledge. They are no longer mentees, but mentors themselves. They are no longer supervisors, but they are expected to be supervisors. They are expected to be opinion leaders, shapers of opinion, and of course to provide a pathway for development. In holding you, students, you're supposed to remember that it is not supposed to be an end in itself, but a means to an end. It's an end in itself because you just want to be called doctor. What does it translate to? It is not just a title that should fascinate you, but your output. Now you have made some input into yourself. We also need the output to manifest in your potential productivity, not just for yourself, but for the good of your community, for the good of your family and friends, and for the good of your nation, Nigeria, and Africa, and the world at large. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm asking you once again to please give them another round of applause. And the reason is because they are being inducted. It's an induction process. It is not peculiar to Baze, yes, but Baze is excellent in aping and analyzing things that are correct across the world. You know, it's an induction process meant to sort of prepare them for the task ahead, letting them know that they're not just going to be called doctors for the sake of it, but doctors for a purpose. Doctors who are supposed to help make a difference in this new society, as the case could be. It's been a long process. 3 years of rigorous studies is not a joke. 3 years of rigorous studies is not a joke, where they are engaging literatures across the world, identifying issues, and delivering it. You know, keeping with the idiosyncrasy of supervisors, and of course, having us badger them left, right, and center. They have gone through it. Not an easy task, but you've got to defend it, ladies and gentlemen. Congratulations once again. Back to you, Dean. Thank you.
Chancellor, sir, I present to you the graduating students standing before you and those who have read their absence, for whom I start closing and who have successfully completed their Doctor of Philosophy examinations and have been found worthy of the love and character to be awarded with the degree Doctor of Philosophy of PT2.
Ma'am? Okay. Oh, okay.
By the authority of Senate, I award all and severally the degree of Doctor of Philosophy of Baze.
Okay? No. Acting, do you continue? And of course, to our new inductees, the tassel is supposed to be on the left. Turn it to the left, please. Before you were inducted, it was meant for the right, but now you have received your license. License to think properly, license to be independent-minded, license to leadership, license to expand the frontiers of scholarship, license to be leaders, to be meaningful contributors to the growth of the system, remembering that you are following a process began more than 800 years ago in Europe, before it went to the Americas in the 19th century, with the commencement of the Hoodin process. And PhD is distinguished as one degree that could probably be hooded, only because it is a special, you are picking on a subject and belaboring it, making you an account of the reputation of our supervisors, that you have been properly tutored in the last 3 years, and you go out there and be worthy, excellent, fascinating ambassadors of this university. Congratulations. And now, yeah.
Please step forward now the handshake of the Chancellor.
And you're going to, yeah. No, you can come through here. Just come through this way, please, quickly. From here. Then you walk out like this, quickly. Don't miss that handshake. It doesn't come all the time. You need to be fast about it. Our time is fast spent. We want to manage it well from now on. Let them come, let them come. Dr. Ayola, no? Yeah, okay. Okay. I said we should leave it. All right. Dean of Students, Dean of... And can the audience please give them a round of applause? Thank you, Chancellor, as you take your seat, please. Thank you, congratulations. And let me also tell the audience that some of them might become very angry with you if you refuse to call them doctor from today. So do not incur their wrath. 3 years of hard work, rigorous research, search for literature is not easy. Congratulations. Chancellor Sir, we're making progress. Now, we're now moving to the alumni pledge. With all the graduates stand and remain standing as the Chancellor administers the oath of induction into Baze University Abuja Alumni Association. Chancellor, sir. All graduates, including the newly minted doctors, all graduates, please be upstanding. Thank you.
In exercise of the powers conferred on me as the Chancellor by the relevant laws of the university, on behalf of the Senate, Management, and Board of Trustees, I hereby admit you all and severally into the Baze University Alumni Association. Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Please take your seats and remain quiet, please. Thank you. Remember, I said it, you are still under authority, graduates. This is a ceremony just yet, so please, we need us to be very quiet. We're making progress now, and we want to move to another important segment of the event. We're blessed today, we're privileged to have a representation, the featuring of two important African leaders, statesmen, international superstars in our midst today. We have one physically present, and the other one is ably and very, very competently represented. This will be the time when the honorary degree will be awarded to the President of Senegal, His Excellency Bassirou Diomaye Diakhar Faye. And of course, like I said, he's being represented by no one else but the Ambassador of Senegal to Nigeria. Your Excellency, sir, you are standing in for President of the Republic of Senegal, and of course, with every due respect, I'm not commanding you, but I'm simply requesting you very politely, very respectfully, to please be upstanding while I read the citation of His Excellency, President of Senegal. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, Bassirou Diomaye Faye was born on 25th March 1980 in Ndiagane, a rural community in the Embo department of Senegal, approximately 150 kilometers from Dakar. Raised in glorious circumstances, he began his education at Mariel Mediterranean Catholic School in his hometown before attending Lucy Demba Diop in Mbo, where he earned his baccalaureate in 2000. Faye continued his education at Cheikh Anta Diop University in Dakar, famous University of Lamata, graduating with a master's degree in law. He subsequently enrolled at the prestigious École Nationale d'Administration in Dakar, where he trained as a tax inspector, an experience that has significantly shaped his views in governance, equity, and the judicious management of public resources. He began his professional career as a tax inspector, distinguished by his diligence and principled stance on public finance. His commitment to integrity and transparency led him to active involvement in the autonomous union of tax and domain agents, where he rose to a leadership role and earned a reputation as a steadfast advocate for ethical governance. Faye's political trajectory began with his membership in PASTEF, founded in 2014 by Usman Sonko. His influence within the party grew steadily, culminating in his appointment as Secretary General in October 2022. In 2023, amid heightened political tensions, Faye was arrested and charged with defamation and contempt of courts after criticizing judicial proceedings linked to Sonko's legal challenges. Later that year, the Senegalese government dissolved PASTEF, alleging his involvement in violent protests. The move that amplified Faye's profile as a symbol of opposition to state repression. With Sonko barred from contesting the 2024 presidential election, PASTEF nominated Faye as his candidate. Campaigning from prison, he won widespread support, particularly among Senegal's youth, who viewed him as both the custodian of Sokoto's vision and an emerging leader in his own right. On 14th of March 2024, 10 days before the scheduled voting, Faye was released under a general amnesty. He began the slogan, Diomaye Moko Sonko, Diomaye is Sonko, resonated powerfully with voters. The election of 24th March 2024 delivered a resounding victory, and of course, Faye secured 54% of the vote in the first round, becoming at 44 the youngest president in Senegal's history. I think that deserves a round of applause. He was sworn in on 2nd of April 2024 and appointed Usman Sonko as Prime Minister shortly thereafter. President Faye represents a new generation of political leadership, grounded in principles of sovereignty, transparency, and systematic reform. His agenda includes renegotiating oil, gas, and mining contracts to ensure equitable national benefits, reassessing the future of the CFA franc, and declaring the withdrawal of foreign military bases from Senegal by 2025, combating corruption, strengthening accountability, and instituting institutional reforms, and of course addressing unemployment and rising living costs, while restoring hope to Senegal's predominantly youthful population. Mr. Chairman, sir, very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, in September 2024, he dissolved the National Assembly and called snap legislative elections to secure a cohesive government mandate. By November 2024, PASTEF had won more than 3/4 of the parliamentary seats, consolidating its hold on political authority. Despite his rapid rise, President Faye remains rooted in his rural upbringing and personal values. He is a practicing Muslim, married in a polygamous union to Marie Kone Faye and Absa Faye, and father to several children. Away from statecraft, he enjoys martial arts, psychology, literature, reggae music, and football, particularly Real Madrid. Faye's journey from village life to incarceration and ultimately to the presidency has captivated audiences across Africa and beyond. His leadership is widely seen as heralding a generational and structural transformation in Senegalese politics, reflecting popular aspirations for dignity, justice, and national sovereignty. As he often affirms, his mission extends beyond governing to restoring trust between the state and the poor, a commitment that continues to define its evolution on the national and global stage. Very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, and it is for this reason that the Baze University Council has thought it worthy to give President Faye, to award him an honorary doctorate at the Congratulations. A round of applause. Very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we now want to hear from the Ambassador of Senegal to Nigeria, who is representing His Excellency. Acceptance speech, please.
Distinguished invitees, on behalf of His Excellency President Jomai Faye, I accept this doctorate degree on his behalf, and I thank you so much for your presence.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much, very distinguished ladies and gentlemen. We are just trying to perfect the process. Trust us at this, to be speak and span in everything we do. And of course, next we want to listen to our special guest of honor, an excellent personality, a Nigerian, by the way, and a woman of substance, an international civil servant in the person of Her Excellency Amina J. Mohammed, GCON, Deputy Secretary General, United Nations, who is a distinguished Nigerian British diplomat, politician, and global development icon, who currently serves as the 5th Deputy Secretary General of the United Nations and Chair of the United Nations Sustainable Development Group. Mrs. Mohammed was born on the 27th of June 1961 in Liverpool, England, to a Fulani Nigerian father and a British mother. She is the eldest of 5 daughters. Her formative years spanned Kaduna and Maiduguri in Nigeria, at the Isles of Man's Bochum School and Henley Management College, where she pursued management studies. Her Excellency began her professional journey in architecture and development consultancy, working at Akron, Nigeria from 1981 to 1991, before founding AfriProjects Consortium, where she served as executive director until 2001. Driven by a passion for inclusive development, she played a defining role in shaping the United Nations Millennium Development Goals, MDGs, serving as coordinator of the UN Task Force on Gender and Education, 2022 to 2025. And later as Senior Special Assistant to the President of Nigeria on the MDGs. Her leadership in negotiating and directing Nigeria's debt relief gains towards poverty reduction and sustainable development in her international acclaim. A globally respected policy thinker, she established the Center for Development Policy Solutions and taught as an adjunct professor in Columbia University's Masters in Development Practice program. She also serves on several prominent UN panels, including the Secretary General's high-level panel on the post-2050 development agenda and the Development Expert Advocacy Group on the Data Revolution for Strategic Development, and chaired the advisory board of UNESCO's Global Monitoring Report on Education. From November 2015 to February 2017, she served Nigeria with distinction as the Honorable Minister of Environment, championing climate action, environmental governance, and sustainable development. She also represented Nigeria on the African Union Reform Steering Committee, chaired by His Excellency President Paul Kagame. In 2017, Her Excellency Amina Mohammed assumed the office of Deputy Secretary of the United Nations, becoming the highest rank in Nigeria and among one of the most influential African women in the global stage. In this role, she leads efforts to accelerate the implementation of the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, mobilizes international partnerships, and advances multilateral action on climate change, peace, gender equality, and inclusive growth. Beyond her official capacities, she is a devoted mother, mentor, and champion of women's empowerment, youth leadership, and participatory global governance. Her Excellency Amina Mohammed stands as a visionary diplomat, reformer, and advocate for sustainable development, a trailblazer whose leadership continues to shape Nigeria's development gap, and the global pursuit of peace, prosperity, and sustainability. Chancellor, sir, Your Excellency, we're now going to listen to Her Excellency Amina Mohammed.
Congratulations. What a day of pride and joy and promise. You've earned this moment. Breathe it in. Let it stay with you. As a daughter of Nigeria, I'm deeply honored to stand with you and the generation that carries our country's dreams on its shoulders. I also want to recognize the founder, Yusuf Ahmed, for his foresight, vision, and of course our Vice Chancellor, Professor Dr. who is showing us that the glass ceiling doesn't exist in this university. I'm also deeply honored by the presence of His Excellency, Julius Madamini, the President of the Republic of Sierra Leone, and His Excellency, Bassirou Diomaye Faye, President of the Republic of Senegal. Two leaders who embody the spirit of African renewal and the courage to reimagine what is possible for our continent. In just over a decade, Baze University has built something extraordinary. From a small beginning of 17 students, you will become a powerhouse of ideas, a university that dares to shape national conversations, that balance both innovation and inclusion, and that puts heart at the center of education. Your motto, learn to live, is powerful. Because learning is not just about passing exams, it's about preparing to live with purpose, with courage, and with compassion. Today, you have learned. Now, class of 2025, it's your time to live, to lead, to shine. You're stepping into a world that is changing faster than ever, but it is also bursting with possibility. Nations are confronting complex crises, conflict and displacement, inequality and polarization, and the essential threat of climate change. Yet, amid these storms, humanity has shown its resilience. We are constantly being reminded about how deeply connected we are and how urgently we must act together. At the United Nations, we are racing to deliver the Sustainable Development Goals, a blueprint for peace, prosperity, and the planet by 2030. But progress is off track, and that is where we come. A generation that will not wait quietly for change, but create it. Across Africa, that energy is already visible. Young Africans are launching tech startups, reimagining agriculture, pioneering clean energy, using art, music, and innovation to transform the continent's narrative, and of course, defending democracy. In Kenya, Gen Z didn't just protest, they forced the government to reverse the budget. The African Continental Free Trade Area, when powered by your ideas, can become a platform for digital future. Here in Nigeria, you stand at a crossroads possibility. Africa's largest economy, its cultural heartbeat, and home to one of the most creative and entrepreneurial youth populations on earth. We are of the many peoples and cultures and traditions of diverse faiths and beliefs from every region and city and town. And that mix is not our weakness, it is our wealth. We also face immense challenges: unemployment, insecurity, and the effects of the changing climate. But when the world suggests Nigeria needs saving, I say we need systems of work, not saviors from elsewhere. Because I have faith that your generation will lead us towards a future where governance is accountable, opportunity is shared, and no one is left behind. Let me share a few lessons from my own humble journey. From designing schools, from hospitals, public buildings here in Nigeria to serving at the United Nations. First, education is your superpower. To the young women graduating today, your education is your passport to freedom, to choice, to change. Walk boldly into every room, never apologize for your brilliance, lead with grace and strength, and never wait for permission to make a difference. And to the young men, this is your charge too. Be the generation that stands beside strong women, not in front of them as barriers. True strength is partnership, not dominance. When you enter politics, business, or public service, remember, equality is not a failure. It is progress for everyone. Second, action beats anxiety. The challenges that you will face, from corruption to climate change, can feel overwhelming. I felt that way too when I stood before a dry lake Chad, once a source of life for millions. I knew that despair wouldn't help, so we acted. We built coalitions of young people, civil society, traditional leaders, and the private sector. So when the problems seem too big, don't agonize, organize. Find your allies, build bridges, lead with purpose and with persistence. Third, keep learning. The world you inherit will not wait. Artificial intelligence, biotechnology, and the green economy are redefining our future. Learn, unlearn, and relearn. Be curious about the world beyond your borders, because leadership today is global. And remember, while love matters, perseverance and integrity still make their own fortune. Finally, hold on to your moral compass. Your degree will open many doors, but your integrity will tell you which ones are worth walking through. As Chinua Achebe once wrote, I quote, "One of the truest tests of integrity is its blunt refusal to be compromised," end quote. So stand for justice, for dignity, and humanity, especially when it's hard. The world needs leaders who can both be courageous and kind. Class of 2025, you are the authors of Nigeria's next chapter. Write it with wisdom, with courage, and with pride. Write it for a greener planet, a fairer economy, a stronger democracy, and a more peaceful world. Because Nigeria's story, Africa's story, humanity's story is still being written. And the pen is now in your hands. I believe in you. The United Nations believe in you. And Nigeria is waiting for you. Congratulations, class of 2025. Go forward, live, lead, and light the way. Thank you.
As is traditional with Nigerian events, we need to recognize some dignitaries in no particular order. Every participant in this great event is hereby recognized. There are some very special people again that I would like to. I'll begin by a very dear couple to Baze University. His Highness Waziri Guzde Alhaji Muhammad Bashir Al-Hajju, always care for Baze University right from the construction stage. And of course, Auntie Afia Muhammad Bashir Al-Hajju, always there for Baze. A recurring decimal, somebody that I went to tell that I want to establish a university. Then he was minister of the FCT. And I could see the shock in him and the prayer in his heart. Is my brother okay? I am speaking of none other than elder statesman, academic, public servant, businessman, Dr. Ali Modibo Umar. In fact, he says if he were to write a book, when he writes a book, that he will dedicate a chapter in thanking Baze University for making his education a success. Former Minister of Education, former Governor of Kano State, former Senator, former school principal, former classroom teacher, I saw former Governor of Imo State, Ewele Rochas Okorocha. Excellency, the Governor of Katsina State has been elaborately captured. Again, a senior brother of mine, former Deputy Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, leading industrialist and businessman, and a promoter of education in his own right, Alhaji Maher Rashid. I was told that my former Brigade Commander, General Mageshi, former Minister of Defense, is here. General, is that correct? Okay. Managing Director of Stanbic IBTC Bank of Africa, Wale Adeyemi. The Super Executive Director of Zenith Bank, Louis Odom, was here just moments ago, but he had to leave. My primary school childhood friend. In fact, I remember one day I went to his house with my son, and his son ran out to say, "Dad, my friend is there." He said, "Sure." He said, "He's your uncle." And when we entered, he realized that my son was in the same class as his own son. So, Stanley Degede, please stand up for recognition. Live from primary school. Chairman, Chief Executive of PT2 Telecom, Mrs. Esther Wilson-Jack, OON, MNI, Head of Service of the Federation, Alhaji Isa Shaibu, retired Director, horticulturalist, botanist, and Chairman of Center Plus, who does the landscaping in Baze University. Sometime next year, I don't know, peradventure, this is nothing political, nothing absolutely political, but I don't want to lose a certain ticket. And because of that, I would like to recognize the humble presence of Barrister Julius Abure, National Chairman of Labour Party. And if you give me the ticket, I have a job. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we are coming to a close of the 12th Convocation ceremony as a symbol of our appreciation of African leader. We will lead him there to lay the foundation stone of this old structure in Baze University that is now being expanded to be the Julius Maada Bio School of Postgraduate Studies of Baze University. As for President Basiru Faye of Senegal, the indulgence to personally go to Senegal and present the appreciation of Baze University. Having said this, Vice Chancellor, may I proceed and register? Invite you to call on Babo Ziri. Oh, okay. There is the Baze University was blessed to launch, to establish the biggest private hospital by build. I equally crave your indulgence for 4 minutes presentation of our hospital. Director of IT, please. Director of IT.
Thank you very much. Also, video of Baze University monuments. And Chancellor, sir, Your Excellencies, I'm going to steal some few minutes to make some other recognitions, And of course, the first on my list is the Minister of Technical and Higher Education of Sierra Leone, Dr. Hajar Ramatulai Wuni, who has come in company of His Excellency, the President of Sierra Leone, and to honor us today. The Chancellor has also made some other recognitions. Next on my list will be Dr. Miriam Ismail Keshingo, representing the Honorable Minister of Women Affairs, Imam Suleiman Ibrahim. Thank you very much for coming. We appreciate you. And of course, we have representative of Quantity Surveyors Registration Board of Nigeria, Obafemi Olawale, Quantity Surveyor, who is represented by Madam Ugu Whitney Utuoma, fellow Nigerian Institute of Quantity Surveyors. Where are you? Thank you for coming. We appreciate you. And of course, very special recognitions to the Education Minister, Dr. Tunji Alausa, who was sent to us today. Another very competent person, Dr. Stella Ugochukwu, to stand in for him. I'm going to ask Dr. Ugochukwu now to please rise while you give her a resounding round of applause. Make sure it's resounding enough so that we can be more than enough for the minister to also receive conscious of change wherever he is. Dr. Ugochukwu, thank you. And of course, we also have a representative. Yeah, thank you. We'll be back to you shortly. Thank you very much. Resume your seat, please. And of course, the representative of the Executive Secretary, National Universities Commission, Professor Ribadu is also here. Where are you, sir? He's Director in charge of enterprises, and that's very important, very critical regulatory meetings. And of course, in Nigeria, the fear of NUC is the beginning of wisdom. And of course, they are friends, because we also know that we are very compliant. We do not break the rules, we are sticklers for regulations, and that's why we are following us today in the illustrious distinguished presence. Thank you very much for coming, sir. We appreciate you. Your Excellency, Chancellor, sir, I also have on my list sister university representatives, representatives of vice chancellors, and of course vice chancellors themselves. They are here, and of course further to the partnership and collaboration that transpires between universities, because it is one single world of collegiality, of partnership, and of course collaboration in the expansion of the frontiers of learning. We have them here, sir, Your Excellency. I'm going to be asking them to quickly and step up very quickly. And of course, just take a bow. I'm actually the Chancellor, respected colleagues of other universities. Please, I have here my representative of Bingham University. Representative of Bingham University. Next is the question of Abuja. Thank you very much. And of course, our sister university, Kano University, Kano, come alongside, very fast university. Very fast has been announced. All the way. And of course, I'm going to get some science and technology. I'll be all next door, not too far from here. And of course, also a vice chancellor of the universities that is represented here as well. And of course, very sir, our closer neighbor. National University of Nigeria. Thank you very much for coming to the results here today. Thank you. We appreciate you. All the spirit of collaboration, of partnership, as well as the expansion of knowledge. National Institute of Representatives of India, Professor Abubakar Clinical Past. Thank you for coming. PTDF, TechForm, where are you as well? Special recognition to you wherever you are. We appreciate you. God bless you. What about just be giving student speech? Should we cancel it? Very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we are moving very fast. Remember, we have an international statesman here with us who is very, very busy. He's got a lot to do. And of course, he's not just leaving the university in the immediate after these events. There's another commissioning still to be done. And it's not my pleasure. Whatever we have not done, we will do it at the appropriate time, or we'll create another time to do it. So do not worry, ladies and gentlemen. And it's now my pleasure to bring to the microphone another respected, reputable citizen who is gracing this occasion today. His Highness Waziri Duse Alhaji Muhammad Bashir Dalhatu, to move the votes of thanks. And after that, there will be the national anthem. Please remain seated. The convocation is not over, but any moment from now it will be over. Thank you very much. Can you give him a round of applause, please? Alhaji Dalhatu, as he comes to the microphone.
Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Sierra Leone, Mr. Julius Maada Bio, Your Excellency, the President of Senegal, as represented by his Ambassador, Excellency Basiru Faye, Her Excellency Hajia Amina Mohammed, Deputy Secretary General of the United Nations, Your Excellency the Governor of Kaduna State, Alhaji Zubko Umar Rada, the Head of Service of the Federation, Mrs. Rosna Jack, the Chancellor, the Vice Chancellor, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Your Excellency, Mr. President, the Baze University community today, in fact, the entire academic community in this country, together with all of us Nigerians, stand today in gratitude and appreciation for your having time to grace this occasion, even though we know that to be here for you is to set aside a multitude of urgent national and international issues. But for you to do that, to be here, we are most grateful. Nobody here is going to forget that we were here today. What an honor we commission and dedicated in your name. You have already made your mark in Sierra Leone, in West Africa, and in Africa as a whole. The fact that you have come from the villages, you carry in your heart a very large heart, whose service to the President of Sierra Leone today. You are also the chairman of the community of West African State Air Force. So actually, you are all subjects. Your stringent effort, especially in educational sector, has gone far and wide. You are free, compulsory, qualitative education to Sierra children is going to make Sierra Leone a model state very soon. So I wish God will give you long life enough to witness the fantastic results of what you are showing today in Sierra Leone. You have also gone far ahead of us here in Nigeria in terms of women emancipation and inclusiveness. Our women have been struggling to be involved in administration year in, year out, but they have not yet succeeded the way you have, giving your women 30% of participation in national development. I am sure your presence here and my mentioning this will hopefully ginger our own legislators to promote and accept that it is necessary. Women must participate in every aspect of our national diversity. We thank you very much, sir. We wish you God's continued guidance in the leadership of your country in West Africa. I want to also thank the President of Senegal, Baze. Actually, there are so many elements that I noticed that I have in common with him, except the presidency, of course. First, he's a Muslim. Second, he has 2 wives. Third, he has several children. All like I. Fourth, he has come from a village like myself. Our only point of departure, respectively, is that while we support Real Madrid, I support Jigawa Golden Stars. So, Your Excellency, Ambassador, you will take our best wishes and highest regards to His Excellency, the President of Senegal. I also want to express our deepest appreciation and gratitude to our own daughter, an outstanding lady that we have donated to the world and who has been making us very proud every single day. Haja Amina Mohammed, Deputy Secretary General of the United Nations. We will keep praying for her. We appreciate the fact that she has taken time to send a video message of goodwill to us. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Your Excellency, Governor of Katsina State, Duko Umar Rada, when I see you, I see an emerging picture of young, dynamic leadership, especially within the northern region. We have been following your successes and your dogged determination to improve the lives of the people. We thank you very much. We pray for you. We'll give you all our support so that you continue to deliver those services. Thank you very much. Because of time, I want to quickly just come to, although I'm not a staff of Baze University, I must however appreciate the fact that Deputy Baba, my very favorite and favorable young brother, having come from a family whose history and present endeavor is always to educate humanity and to provide leadership. I have witnessed the development of Baze University, and I'm amazed at the speed with which you have catapulted Baze University from a relatively young university to today among the best in Nigeria. You are so you are never tired in providing opportunities. I have seen some of my own brothers here, Hakim and Nafi. Of course, these are all outstanding people in our community. I must also regret to also say that we lost Mustafa and wish him God's reception into Al-Jannah Firdaus. That you, as long as you continue this spread of tireless spread of dedication in our country. I was in the convocation ceremony of Baba Ahmed University. I dashed there last week. I'm dashing here today to attend the Baze University convocation. As long as you are not tired of establishing universities, I will not get tired of attending your convocation. So our only prayer for you is to continue to receive God's blessing, because you are relentless in your pursuit, and you are an example to what a young, dynamic Nigerian should look like and should act like. We are very proud of you. Let me thank, of course, the visiting Vice Chancellors and their representatives for honoring this university by attending. It's a tradition, I know, but it also takes effort to be here. We thank you very much. The instructors who teach our children and bring them up and teach them both manners and education, we thank you very much. To the rest of us who have come to honor this university today, we say thank you, God bless, and may we all get back to our homes safely in God's name. Thank you.
Very many thanks to our very distinguished and reputable Alhaji. I've actually been sitting with you, close to you in the room. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to ask you to please give him a round of applause for helping us to stand all the way to do this Baze University well. Thank you very much, sir. God bless you. And of course, Your Excellency, Chancellor Sir, we're getting to the end of this ceremony. It is now my pleasure to bring to the microphone the University Soloist, Dr. Tokwe Ojeme, to do the concluding part as the case could be. Tokwe, thank you.
Thank you very much, Registrar, very distinguished Chancellor. May we all rise, please. As we rise, a quick announcement that all graduating students are expected to proceed to their faculties. Faculty of Management, FMSS, remains here in this hall. We now rise. First, we'll take the Baze anthem, and then the pledge, and in reverse order, the recession. The Baze anthem, please welcome. Hold on, we'll do the Christian closing prayer just before the Baze anthem. Hold on, police band. Hold on, police band. In the name of the most merciful Father, we thank you, O Lord, for the 12th convocation ceremony of Baze University, Abuja, Nigeria. Thank you for the success, and thank you for all who have graduated to go, learn, to leave. We ask by your mercy that you grant everyone journey mercies and take everyone back to their destinations and help Nigeria, Baze University, and other universities to continue to do well. We ask these mercies and more. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. The Baze University anthem. Baze University, right in the city of unity. pride and dignity over the hills, the land and sea, driven by excellence, hard work and diligence, and our reaches high above the sky. Shine on Baze University, ever shining as the morning sun, marching on to glory. Learn to lead and learn to lead. Shine on, Baze University. The pledge. I pledge to Nigeria, my country, to be faithful, loyal, and honest, to serve Nigeria with all my strength, to defend our unity and uphold our honor and glory. So help me God. The band leads us now. Please stay where you are as we now recess in reverse order. Chancellor's recession.
I want to enter the ground.
Please remain where you are. The Chancellor's recession ongoing. Silence, please. Silence. Chancellor's recession in progress. After successful 12th convocation of Baze University, Abuja, Nigeria.
Thank you. The homecoming takes place immediately. All graduates are to proceed to their faculty. Graduates of FMSS are to remain in the hall. Heads of departments of FMSS remain in the hall. Please proceed, graduates, to your various faculties. Graduates of the Faculty of Management and Social Sciences, FMSS, remain in this hall for your homecoming. All heads of departments, HOD, are also requested to please stay behind. Thank you and good afternoon.